Yo, it's JSF. So today I want to talk about defense, and I want to talk about two of the best characters. These are the best two characters in the game, right? Jackie and Liu Kang are two best characters in the game, and I want to talk about part of what makes them so good and part of what's a problem with this game, basically. But to do that, I got to talk about other fighting games first for a little bit. So bear with me, but I want to talk about defense generally in fighting games, right? Because in every fighting game there are block strings to an extent, right? Or there's blocking, right? You can hit a character, right? You hit them and they block. Cool. If you look at a game like Dragon Ball Fighters, where I can super dash into you, call an assist. I can super jump at you, instant air dash, heavy into block string, into assist, into another block string, into another assist, into another block string, etc. Right? It seems ridiculous, right? It looks crazy, it sounds crazy, it makes it seem like, oh wow, there's like this game is all offense, there's no defense, like how the fuck are you supposed to block forever, like blah 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 blah, right? Then you look at a game like Street Fighter, right? You look at Street Fighter 5, for example. The block strings are very, very short. They're not really like Dragon Ball at all, but they have a similarity. They do have a similarity, but overall they're different, right? Where it's like you might get jump in, crouch medium, maybe a second crouch medium, and then they're now pushed out of range and kind of resets neutral, right? You don't, unless you're a character who has like an EX fireball that's plus, maybe you get one more button press out of that if it's blocked or something, and then that's usually about it with Street Fighter, right? And with other games, like even like Grand Blue, right? It's more of the same, like how kind of like Street Fighter, but kind of like Dragon Ball, where you can get like crouch light maybe into like stand light into like a special move, right? If they block it, or you can get two crouch lights, now you're out of range, right? Or you can let it jump in and do like light, but then you're unsafe, or you can go into an EX fireball or something like that, or go into a special move and then your turn's over. So then we get to Mortal Kombat, right? Mortal Kombat, in all those examples that I spoke about, right? Or that I showed, really. All those examples, you can theoretically block forever, right? Like in Dragon Ball, yeah, there are super long block strings and they can mix you up 3 different times. They can have 2 assists, but those assists have cooldown, and assists won't come back while you're still in the block string, right? If you haven't come out of the block stun, really. So in order to keep that pressure forever, they have to back off. They have to stagger. They have to, you know what I mean? They have to give you a chance to get away, right? In Street Fighter, the block strings really aren't that long. You'll get your turn pretty quickly. Same with Grand Blue. You'll either get your turn or they'll do like a special move that's unsafe or do an EX special, and those have cooldown. So you'll get out of those situations. In Mortal Kombat, right, in this game, Mortal Kombat 11, you never get, like with these characters specifically, right, like Jackie, you do not get a turn. Like you have to guess when your turn is. You don't just get your turn back naturally. And this isn't like, it's partially a game issue with the entire game, but certain characters exploit it a lot more than others. Like it's just crazy, right? So first of all, Jackie has a command jump, right? She just does. She has a command jump. It's really good. It gets her in, etc. You know, she can just do that, right? So it isn't like, and Liu Kang doesn't have a command jump. He does not, but he can fly, and now he's in, right? So, you know, these characters will get in on you. You cannot keep them out. It's not possible. It's like they don't have a weakness for full screen. They can get in whenever they want to. Anyway, so let's say Jackie gets in, right? She's plus, right? She has a 9 frame mid she can go into, right? Which is -2 on block. It can be -1. If you don't know what -1, -2 means, think of it this way. You are negative, but you're not negative enough for it to definitively be the other person's turn, right? You're just not. And we'll get to all 9 later. We don't really, well, there's not much to get into. Just factor in the fact that it's all 9 and there's input, well, not maybe input delay, maybe there's just like lag in general. So by the time you try to react to something, you know, you're late on it. Then we have the fact that like you have to respect this mid so she can go into this. So look at this, right? I can do leap into a high. I mean, yeah, well, leap into jump 2, right? Be +2, be +3, whatever, right? Immediately go into this, be +2. Go into that, and then, you know, -2, but there's a second hit of the string, right? Still -2. You can try to mash, but you can get killed for mashing, and then you get knocked down, and you know, rinse repeat, right? Or you can stagger this because, like I said, it's -2, maybe -1, right? You can just stagger it and do it again. Or you can do the feint, right? Because now custom variations are allowed, which I still think is great and I love. But some shit in this game is just stupid, right? Like you can just fake it, right? So when they think you're going for the second hit, you can fake it and then go for a throw and pressure some more, right? She also has 7 frame down 1, 7 frame jab. Her buttons are really great. She also has her forward 1, which is 11 frames, and -2. You know, instead of doing this, you can do this into this. Like, you know what I mean? You can do this. Like, theoretically, you can do this, this, this. Like, you literally, like, the thing, well, my point that I'm trying to get at basically is you can't just block forever in this game and be safe because of it, right? Like, in other fighting games, you're rewarded for blocking, right? So, like, say they jump in on you, you block whatever they do, cool, you get away. In this game, that does happen, right? Like, say I block this overhead. She's -10 with some pushback, that's pretty safe. But hey, I'm away from her, right? I can back up or something, right? Like from that range, Liu Kang has options, right? He can move around, do whatever, right? But in the case of like her pressure, you really just have to guess because you're not reacting to anything, right? There's not enough time to, you see that? Like, there's not enough time to really react to it, right? And you will never be rewarded for just blocking, right? Like theoretically, I can do this forever. Yes, this is a stagger, but the thing about it is, to have a stagger, it needs to actually be minus. It needs to, like, you can't have a stagger that's -1. That's not a stagger. That's like plus frames, basically, right? It's still essentially your turn, right? If you're not -4 or more, you're not giving up your turn. Honestly, even -4, you can still press after. You really need to be like -6, maybe -5 for it to not really be your turn. And then that of course means you're in poke range, right? Because they can down 1 poke you. Basically, and it's similar with Liu Kang, right? Where he can theoretically, like, this is -4, but it's 9 frames. And like I mentioned before, when you cancel something into itself, I don't know what it is, but it's like it comes out faster. It feels like it. I don't know if it actually does, if there's something in the game that makes it that way, but yeah. And then there's a built-in stagger. Then you gotta go, oh, is he gonna do a fireball? Is he gonna do EX5? Is he gonna do anything, right? Nah, I'm just gonna do it again. You know what I mean? Like if I just decide, hey, I'm just gonna block his pressure. I'm just gonna block. I don't wanna guess, is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do that? I don't get rewarded for blocking and getting out of it, right? Like I'm still right at point blank range if I keep blocking, and he's only -6. You know what I mean? And obviously he can cancel it. So blocking doesn't get you to escape the situation like a way that I think that it should, because in every fighting game, that's pretty much how it works. And in this game, a lot of characters do work that way, but these two are good examples, right? And the same with 4-4, right? And you just decide you're gonna block. Now he's plus, right? Right? And Liu Kang had a string like this in MKX, but like the last hit was a high, so it wasn't the same, right? In this situation, they're all mids, it's 11 frames, you know. Like if you just block, theoretically, forever, just keep blocking, you will lose for blocking. And I think that's just the wrong way to go about it. I think that these like characters like this, it's okay to have good pressure. It's totally fine to have good pressure, but pressure that brings you closer to them and barely leaves you minus, like I would say this can be -4. This built-in stagger right here can still be that if the end of the string was like -10 or something, -11, right? And then he has to cancel into something or else he's unsafe, right? That would, you know what I mean? Like that would give us something. So he would either have to stagger this more often, because then he becomes able to read, right? Then you go, okay, well, he doesn't want to do the full string because the full string is unsafe. So he's probably going to stagger it. So when he tries to stagger it, you poke him or you do a mid and you kill him for it, right? Or he has to do the whole string and cancel it into something, right? So once he commits to the full string, you go, oh, he's going to cancel it. He's probably going to cancel it into low fireball because that's the only thing that's safe. and then you block the low fireball, right? Like it would become a lot easier to deal with characters like this if they just implemented like something that's kind of just an essential gameplay thing. Like it's kind of just in every fighting game. But anyway, I hope that made sense to y'all. I want to try to explain it a little bit better, but I don't really know how to put the words to it. Just basically like, think of it this way: if you're blocking like that for forever, you'll never get out of this situation if you keep blocking. You know what I mean? Like, and in that situation, I think this either needs to be more minus on block or have more pushback. So like after she does it, she's like here. She can't just immediately do it again. Because in a game like Street Fighter, right, there is that press some like strike, walk up throw mix, right? That's the thing. But in this game, there is no walk up. I don't have to walk up. I can just keep doing this. I'm not going forward. I'm just doing forward 3, right? Same way if I do her forward 1. You know what I mean? Like you just, it's right there for you. In Street Fighter, like even if I hit you with like, say if I did this, right? I would have to do this and then walk up a little bit and then throw, right? Then it becomes, oh, I see the walk up. You're gonna probably try to throw me, right? But it's part of why strike throw mix is so good. So it's part of why these characters are so good. And it's just something that I was thinking about, that I was like watching other games, like watching Dragon Ball, watching Street Fighter. And I'm thinking like, wow, like in these games, I can just block it out, screw it. And if they want to throw me, there's gonna be a chance for me to react to the throw. In this game, nah, it's literally a guess every time. And you know, I just feel like this is just a slight tweak you could make to change this. Like make some of this stuff slightly more minus, give it a little more pushback, make it so I have a turn. Cause like as it stands now, when you fight Jackie, you have to be scouting the leap the entire way, right? You have to be scouting the leap because you can't react to it. Jump I mean, you can react to it, but it's not reliable, especially not online. Like even that, right? Like jumping in really fast, and then she has air movement out of it, right? You know what I mean? Like it's just not. And then even though that's -2, she can poke, right? And then you get hit with a poke. You're right, and she's +13. It's her turn again, right? Like just give us somewhere where it's a turn, where we have a turn, like where it's like definitively my turn. Not that I have to guess, is it my turn? Is it not my turn? Like that's another thing that makes the game like so overwhelming against certain characters and makes it scrubbier, because all I gotta do is pick Jackie and I get free offense. I get free offense, and now no matter how good you are at fighting games, you just gotta guess. It doesn't matter. All that shit's out the window. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. If y'all enjoyed the content, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. JSF, I'm out of here.